Finishing the setup. Okay. Okay, now we should sound a lot better. Well, minus the echo in this room that I'm in, but I just moved out to the living room to see if there would be a difference. I can't be certain, but I'm trying my best here. I'm trying to see if there's any way to basically fix the stream. So hopefully something changes. Anything? I would hate to imagine if it's still sounding bad. But for those of you that didn't, for those of you that didn't actually catch what was going on, I was streaming prior to this one. Thing is, I was experiencing some technical problems where the stream wouldn't stop lagging. I don't know why it did that. Maybe it's just a weak internet connection. I don't know. All I do know is that that was annoying as shit, and I don't know why that was happening. Thank you for telling me that it's not lagging. I'm sorry, guys. I could not have predicted that that was going to happen. I'm just hoping that I'm not too loud so I don't wake the neighbors up and that my roommate doesn't just walk in and sees what's going on. So you'll probably see. I don't know. This stream won't be as long as the other ones, but hang on. Sorry about that. Just had to type something in. Hmm? Oh. Hello there, punk zombie maiden. Hello, hello. I'm looking forward to doing the Jeff versus Jane with it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, hopefully sometime at the end of this year, we plan on doing the Jeff the Killer versus Jane the Killer story that was uploaded by Mr. Creepypasta and the Nightmare Society many years back. We wanted to do our own version, and the audio play is available on the Creepypasta wiki. So we are looking for people to appear in it, essentially, just to cast some roles and just have an all around good time. Hopefully, it'll be up by the end of the year. If not, we'll stretch it out as long as we can so we can get a full cast set up. Um, I will say though, this will not be up on my channel. Um, this is going to be up on her channel. This is actually something that we not necessarily just found out about, but we both received the honorable, and I say honorable in the loosest way possible because it's an internet horror story, but the creators of Jeff the Killer and Jane the Killer, well, I should probably explain first. The creator of Jane Arkansas, it's a different version of the character, but it's more popular, yada yada yada. This one is actually considered canon alongside the creator of Jeff the Killer, so it's a long, complicated story. So basically, the story is that the creator of Jeff the Killer, the 2011 story, then the most popular creepypasta of all time. I recently met the author who wrote the story, and he's a really chill guy, really cool guy. He doesn't like his own story, so I just wanted to throw that out there because I know how bad of a reputation that Jeff the Killer has gotten. But he's not a big fan of his story and is planning on rebooting the series at some point alongside Pasta Stalker, which is the name of the lady who made Jane Arkansas, Jane the Killer. Now, Pasta Stalker reached out to Punk Zombie here, and she was made the official voice of Jane the Killer, of the character, her character. And after I had met her, and of course Pasta Stalker, they liked my voice a lot, and they reached out to the creator of Jeff the Killer. His name is Travis, and they asked him if I could be the official voice of Jeff the Killer. So he actually heard my stuff and he agreed. He said yes. So in a bizarre turn of events, I'm now the official voice of the most popular creepypasta character of all time. Now, I've made it very clear in the past that I do not like Jeff the Killer at all. Not just as a story, but I'm not a fan of the character. However, and however, I am a big fan of the reboot series that K-Ben and Kellum had written, and as well as due to the fact that Jeff the Killer, for better or for worse, is an icon. An icon not just for creepypasta, but horror in general. Now, now that's a good thing. It is. Without Jeff the Killer being as popular as it was, creepypasta would not have gotten as big and as popular as it had gotten. So, like it or not, Jeff the Killer did make creepypasta the way it is now. And despite how I feel about the character, I do still think it's quite an honor to be the voice of an icon. And I'm very grateful to Travis. I'm grateful for Punk Zombie for helping me uh, get in contact with such amazing people, and of course, I'm grateful for Pasta Stalker as well. She's amazing as well. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. But let's get back on topic here. Um, Tonight's stream, it might be a bit shorter than usual, but it's going to be me basically doing a bit of live narrating and just shooting the shit with you guys. You guys just want you guys to tell me how you're doing, what's going on. You'll hear a little echo in the background. That's because I'm, of course, in my living room. So, um, it's gonna be a little echoey. So, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Can you guys hear the echo? Can you hear it? Well, I probably shouldn't be silent while I'm just waiting for a reply. So, let's just keep on talking. uh, Prior to the first stream getting cut off, I did, of course, at one point, read a story, just a short story called "The Portraits," right? And I said before that I was going to be doing some live narrating while I was doing this stream tonight. So why don't we try to find just a random story? Anything really. Just to get you guys into the mood, and let's do this all over again. How about that? Well, I guess first things first, we need a story. Oh, you don't hear an echo? I mean, I do. I'm in a very echoey location, so I'm surprised the mic isn't catching it. That's really bizarre. No, no matter. Um, Let me see here. Oh, there's only one person watching. Everybody just dipped out. All right, looks like it's just going to be a party of one for right now until more people show up. Um, what was I going to do? Right, I'm so forgetful. I'm going to read stories. You know, the thing that I know how to do best. Yep. Oh, I know exactly what I'll read first. This is actually a personal favorite. Give me just one moment to type this into the wiki if it doesn't keep crashing. I hate the fact there are so many ads on the wiki. That's so annoying. Here we go. The story I told you to smile. Now, I love this story for a number of reasons. Mainly because when I first heard this one years back, it scared the absolute piss out of me. What's this? Um, and now, sorry, my glasses just rubbed against the microphone. My bad. A now deleted creepypasta on YouTube about the death of Jeff the Killer called Cold Case. If you find it, it's awesome. I might just look out for that one. But for right now, let's not waste any more time. Actually, let's waste a bit more time because I have to get some water. Hang on. Alrighty, I am back. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into tonight's story, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I told you to smile. It was the 2nd of January, 2:04 a.m. I woke up to a knocking on the door. One knock every 3 seconds. I slipped on my slippers and walked down the stairs. As I walked down, the knocking on the door got faster, almost like a heartbeat. When I got to the door, the knocking stopped. I looked outside, and nobody was there. I went back up to my room and went back to bed, thinking it was just some kids playing a prank. At 4:20 a.m., I woke up to the front door slamming shut. I jumped, terrified. I looked over my frosted window to find "Smile" written all over it in frost. I grabbed my phone next to me, ready to call 911, only to find a message written on it saying, "I told you to smile." I cried and ran for my life, running outside. As soon as I got outside, I knocked on my neighbor's house across the road. They answered, and they held me while I sobbed. They phoned the police. At exactly 5:42, the police came to my neighbor's house after an extensive search of my house. They told me there had been no evidence at all. Of anyone in my house other than me. The messages on the window were gone. Same with my phone. They told me to get some sleep and advised me to see a doctor about stress and anxiety problems. Fuck that. I knew what happened to me was real. The following evening, after spending the day at my neighbor's, I went home. I went up to my bedroom and set up a camera. It was aimed at my bedroom door and my bed. I set it to record and went to sleep. Thankfully, I slept through the night. However, as I watched the footage, I couldn't believe what I saw. At 3 in the morning, something crawled out from under my bed. It was a completely naked, anorexic man. He stood up and looked at me on the bed. He did so for another hour, not moving at all. And then he moved. He walked over to the camera until his face took up the whole shot. He was extremely pale, and he had bulging veins all over his head. His eyes were completely black, with a huge smile on his face. He stared at the camera for another 2 hours, not blinking, just slightly twisting his head every now and again. After 2 hours of him staring went past, he walked back over to my bed and crawled under. I skipped the video forward until it showed me getting up and walking over to the camera. The video finished. I was frozen with fear. The video showed him going back under, but not leaving. Whatever it was still there. And that is the story. guys like that? Did you enjoy it? Well, I sure hope you did. I sure hope you did. Sorry about that. Just had to message my roommate. It's awesome, nice. I like the shorter stories. As do I. As do I. Um, how about we try to find another one somewhere? Let's see, where is that tab? There we go. Let's try and find another one for you guys tonight. You know what? Let's make this night full of popular pastas, popular ones that I personally would not read myself on this channel in a video style, but I mean I would be okay reading it for a live stream. You know, does that seem fair? I think it seems pretty fair. Can I post a schedule when you go live? The thing is about that, I actually don't have a schedule when I do this. It's just something I do on a whim. Like if I'm all like, I got nothing else going on. I got a lot of stuff recorded. I don't really need to do any late night recording. So maybe I'll just go live for the audience and just see what they think. It's basically something like that. I'll always just. I know it seems very sloppy, but whenever I try to go live, I'll typically just do it on a whim. I'll be like, okay, let's go live. Yeah, let's do it. Set up a quick little stream. Click. Okay, we're live now. Hey, everybody. It's just gonna be stuff like that. Actually, back in like I believe 2017, there was a time where I actually would always go live, every single week. I had this thing where I would of course read stories, and then on the weekends, I believe I was when I would just decide to just go live, and I would just talk with some friends and some audience members, do some live readings, do a joke reading, stuff like that. Add some little comedy to the mix. Now, this was all back when Google Hangouts was a thing, and when it was so easy to invite friends into a stream and just have fun with them. But ever since Google Hangouts was taken out and I guess replaced with Google Voice, it's been a lot more difficult for me to invite guests onto my channel for live streams. So I'll just say it now. I don't know how to add more people to a live stream now, given what it's like. I've only done it like say one time, and I completely forgot how it was done in the first place. So that's kind of on me. But for right now, it's just gonna be a little one man show, and that's just way I like it. What's this? Hello, Freddy G Buff. Freddy G Buff. Hello. Hello, Detective Creepypasta. How are you? It's good to see you. Phone guy. Greetings. I'm just passing by. Hello, phone guy. Did you warn the newest security guard about the haunted animatronics at Freddy Fazbear's? Okay. Let's see. What can I do now? Oh, I know what I'll do. Uh, I'll read the story Hero Brian. Yeah. See, the funny thing is, I'm not really a Minecraft player, to be honest. So I just know about the story through word of mouth. So it's a little embarrassing, but at the same time, it's something I've done a lot of. I just hear a story online, and if it's game based, I'll have a listen to it, or I'll take a look at any videos that they have of it, and it's how I know about it. I get a lot of my information on creepypastas through YouTube. I actually never read these stories back when they were in their prime, so I'm sure if I did, it would be pretty incredible, actually. But I gained knowledge of creepypasta first through YouTube videos, whether it be through Blame It on George or Hudo Hoodlum's Revenge. Love those guys to death. And they also showed me a variety of creepypastas. What's this? They're not haunted, they just get a bit quirky at night, that's all. Phone guy, too busy being dead. Hey, aren't we all? Anyways, I don't want to get ahead of myself right now. I need to get back to what I was doing. Um, let's read Hero Brian, shall we? Any of you Minecraft players might be able to know about this stuff. So let's get started. I had recently spawned a new world in single-player Minecraft. Everything was normal at first, as I began chopping down trees and crafting a workbench. I noticed something move amongst the dense fog. I have a very slow computer, so I have to play with a tiny render distance. A small world. I thought it was a cow, so I pursued it, hoping to grab some hides for armor. It wasn't a cow, though. Looking back at me was another character with the default skin, but his eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double-checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He didn't stay long. He looked at me and quickly ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone. I continued on with the game, not sure what to think. As I expanded to world, I saw things that seemed out of place for the random map generator to make. 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, small perfect pyramids made of sand in the ocean, and groves of trees with all their leaves cut off. I would constantly think I saw the other player in the deep fog, but I never got a better look at him. I tried increasing my render distance to far whenever I thought I saw him, but to no avail. I saved the map and went on the forums to see if anyone else had found the pseudo player, but there were none. I created my own topic telling of a man and asking if anyone had a similar experience. The post was deleted within 5 minutes. I tried again, and the topic was deleted even faster. I received a PM from username Herobrine containing one word: stop. When I went to look at Herobrine's profile, the page 404 deed. What? Okay. I received an email from another forum user. He claimed the mods can read the forum user's messages, so we were safer using email. The emailer claimed that he had seen the mystery player too, and had a small directory with other users who had seen him as well. Their worlds were littered with obviously man-made features as well, and described their mystery player to have no pupils. About a month passed until I heard from my informant again. Some of the people who had encountered the mystery man had looked into the name Herobrine and found that the name to be frequently used by a Swedish gamer. After some further information gathered, it was revealed to be the brother of Notch, the game's developer. I personally emailed Notch and asked him if he ever had a brother. It took him a while, It took him a while, but he emailed me back a very short message. I did, but he is no longer with us. Notch. I haven't seen the mystery man since our first encounter, and I haven't noticed any changes to the world other than my own. I was able to press print screen when I first saw him. Here's the only evidence of his existence. And it just shows a picture of the stuff in Minecraft. So, yeah. That's the story of Herobrine, everybody. The funny thing is, there was a time where everybody thought that these stories were real. They thought Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, and the Rake and whatnot, they were all real. But obviously they're not. And this was one of the stories that many people, for the longest time... give me just one moment. This was just one of the stories that people thought for the longest time was actually real. Obviously it's not, because in real life, Notch does not actually have a brother. I remember seeing in an interview that he said that he did have a... Oh, excuse me. He did have a half-brother. Not that it really makes much of a difference, but... Yeah, this story's not true, so I think it's kind of obvious. You'd think that every creepypasta is fake. Like, none of it's true. But to be fair, there is at least one that I know of that actually did happen, and that was the story Mario. It's a very long, complicated story, but from what sources have told me, that story is actually real. So, that's just one example of a pasta that actually did happen. Now, as far as other stories, no. A lot of them are completely fake, which is kind of obvious. A lot of people did say that Candler Cove was real, but to be honest, I never believed that story to be true. And it was confirmed to be fake as well, so really, I never bought into the whole Candler Cove thing being real, so that's just me. Do I remember the ritual pastas, like how to play hide and seek alone? Yeah, I do remember that one, actually. I heard that one years back on, I believe it was Creeps McPasta's channel? Yeah? Yeah. That might have been the one where I heard it from originally. Is it still up on the wiki? Let me take a look. I'm not seeing it up on the wiki. Let me try another source. Give me just a second. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, Mr. Creepypasta did that one too. Interesting. I'm not seeing it. Oh, okay, maybe this is it. One man hide and seek. How to play hide and seek alone. Okay, it's on the Creepypasta website. Let's see. How long is this one? Let me see. Okay. Yeah. If you guys want me to do this one, then sure, I can do this one as well. Introduction, preparation, how to do it. Okay. I thought the Russian sleep experiment was real for a very long time. I don't feel stupid about that, detective. Actually, a lot of that story is pretty believable. I mean, there are some flaws with it, but if you take away the flaws that you see in it, it's very minor compared to other stories. It's completely believable. You can totally believe that. And the funny thing is, I don't know if anyone's ever tracked down who the author was. I think the author's been anonymous ever since the story came out. I think the author was at one point public with his story being out there, but I don't know. I can't confirm that. But as far as I know, the author of Russian Sleep Experiment is still anonymous to this day. So, yeah. Let's not waste any more time. I'll get another drink of water, and then we'll get to reading how to play hide and seek alone. Okay? Okay. The one-man hide and seek, aka the one-man tag, is a ritual for contacting the dead. The spirits, which are wandering restless on the earth, are always looking for bodies to possess. In this ritual, you will summon such a spirit by offering it a doll instead of a human body. Warning: if you have psychic abilities, you may feel unwell or to be prone to accidents during the ritual. Things you'll need: one stuffed doll. It must have limbs. Rice, enough to stuff the doll full. One needle and one crimson thread. One pail of nail clippers. One sharp-edged tool, such as a knife, glass shard, or scissors. 1 cup of salt water. Natural salt would be the best. A bathroom with a bathtub and some form of counter. A hiding place, preferably a room purified by incense. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. Incense and ophoda. There must be a TV in there. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry, guys. I said incest instead of incest. What is... Oof, that's bad. That's a bad take. Anyways, let's get back to the story. Preparation. Take out whatever the doll is stuffed with. Once all of its stuffing is removed, restuff it with rice. Clip out a few pieces of your nails and put them inside the doll. Sew them open with the crimson thread. When you finish sewing, tie up the doll with the rest of the thread. Go to the bathroom and fill your bathtub with water. Return to your hiding place and put the cup of salt water on the ground. How to do it. Give a name to your doll. The name can be any but your own. When the time is 3 a.m., say your name is the first it. When the time is 3 a.m., say your name is the first it to the doll 3 times. Go to the bathroom and put the doll into the water-filled bathtub. Turn off all the lights in your house. Go back to the hiding place and switch on the TV. After counting to 10, with your eyes closed, return to the bathroom with the edged tool in your hand. Go to the bathtub and say to the doll, "I have found you." The doll's name. Now stab the doll with the edged tool. Say, "You are the next it," the doll's name, as you take the doll out of the bathtub and leave it on the counter in the bathroom. As soon as you have put the doll down, run back to the hiding place and hide. How to finish. Pour half the cup of salt water into your mouth. Do not drink it. Just keep it there. Get out of your hiding place and start looking for the doll. The doll is not necessarily in the bathroom. Whatever happens, do not spit out the salt water. When you find the doll, pour the rest of the salt water in the cup over it. Then spit out the salt water in your mouth onto it as well. Say, "I win" 3 times. This is supposed to end the ritual. And after this, make sure you dry the doll, burn it, and discard it later. Most important, please do not stop this ritual halfway. You must do it through to the end. This is a dangerous ritual, and I will not be responsible for what happens to you if you try. And that should be it. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That's how to play hide and seek alone. So you got that? Now try it out yourself at home. No, not really. Don't actually do that. Has anybody seen the Roman knowledge experiment? No, I have not actually. Can't say that I have. Kind of a big mystery right there. While you guys are here, you guys want to ask me any questions? Like, if you have any questions for me, just type it in the chat and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. So, yeah, just type it out. In the meantime, I'll just explain what I was doing today. I got my ride fixed up, had to pay a repair cost on it. Nothing too serious. Then I had to go to the post office to get a mailbox key for my apartment. Yeah, it's a pretty busy day with a lot of traveling. Has anyone ever read Over the Hill? Over the Hill? I don't believe that I have, no. I know the story On a Hill, but I've never actually read the story called Over the Hill. Can't say I'm familiar with that one, to be honest, but based on the name alone, it sounds kind of nice. Upload schedules. What's my upload schedule? The thing is, I don't necessarily have an upload schedule. I'm one of those guys that for the longest time was all like, they get made when they get made. But I've tried upload schedules before in the past and they never really work out. I mean, nowadays I try to upload at least once or twice a week, and that's the way it's always been for me for a while. I used to try and just upload every Friday and Monday, but looking back, it was a hard schedule to keep up, and I didn't think it would really be worth it to keep doing this, so I decided to just upload at any point throughout the week, whether it be one video or two videos. And there was a time where I had this whole thing planned out where I would upload, say, maybe one long pasta, and then a couple days after that, upload a short pasta and keep this whole chain going for a while, but it didn't work out. So I ultimately decided that I wanted to just upload a video whenever I had something ready. Now, of course, I wouldn't just upload whatever I would make. I'd obviously take some time to put the whole thing together and not just try to pump out videos as much as I can. Although I have been guilty of doing that before in the past, where I upload something that I rushed out just to, keep you guys entertained, keep you happy. I didn't take a lot of time to make it because I didn't want to keep you guys waiting for like 4 months like I'd have in the past without uploading anything. Sorry about that, by the way. I learned a long time ago, never rush out videos. Always take your time with them regardless. If people want to see them, they have to wait until they're ready. It's like that with anything, whether it be a song or even a movie. People just naturally have to wait. And if they unsubscribe and they don't feel like waiting, well, I'm sorry. At least you know who I am and you stuck around for as long as you did, so that's good. But yeah, that's essentially my upload schedule. I just try to upload once or twice a week. What is the best creepypasta that I can think of? When it comes to me and pastas, there's a lot that come to mind. When it comes to what I'm really into. Now, I'm not a fan of a lot of popular ones that have come out, but the ones that I am a fan of, like say No End House, for example, that's one that I can think of where I was very entertained entertained by it, and it became one of my favorites. No One House is by far one of my all-time favorites, but it's not my absolute favorite. In terms of whatever pasta out there that is my absolute favorite, like bar none, it would have to be Ben Drowned. Now, nostalgia goes a long way in how much I love this story. Ben Drowned is my absolute favorite because it was the first creepypasta that I'd ever read, one that I ever heard of. I never did it on this channel, but I do plan on doing it one day. And I guess I'll say it now. I plan on making Ben Drowned my final narration video, at least for the time being. I have said this before, that there is going to be a time where I will leave the narration community, and I'm sorry to say this, guys. Yes, that is true. I still intend to leave at some point, but I'm not going to leave without giving you guys as much content as possible of stuff that I've always wanted to do. Now, when I say that, I'm not, how do I put this? I'm not leaving permanently. I'm just stopping this whole thing on my channel because I want to try new things. I want to try new stuff out. I wanted to make independent horror films for like the longest time, and I want to do my own storytime videos where I would talk about stuff that I've had happen in my life before, whether it be stuff with jobs, stuff with people I've met, my own paranormal experiences, that kind of stuff. I think it would be really good for the channel. So storytime videos are another thing that I want to do. But until that day comes, I'll be doing narrations until I feel like I can stop doing them. Because as much as I love doing them, there comes a time on YouTube where you get so sick of doing the same thing over and over again. And eventually people get bored of it and they start leaving in search of something else. And that kind of thing does happen. I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I think it's high time I finally expand my horizon, broaden it, look for something else to do, essentially. But I got really off topic. I was talking about pastas that I love so much, and then I just went into something personal. I figured a lot of you guys should know about this before I eventually do depart from the horror narration community, but that won't be for a little while longer. Popular pastas, very few of them actually do entertain me. There are some out there that I like say Mr. Widemouth or The Strangest Security Tape I've Ever Seen. Those are ones that I actually do enjoy. And then there are some popular pastas out there that I personally don't get how they're so good. Well, no, scratch that. I do get why they're so good, but I personally am not a fan of these pastas, mainly because I can basically sum them up as, okay, that happened. Only two really come to mind, and I might get some hate for saying this, but the two pastas that come to mind that I do not like, one is Candle Cove. I'm sorry, I don't like Candle Cove. For one thing, I don't find the concept behind it freaky. It's just a story about a bunch of puppets that scream, and I know there's more to it than that. Like the Skin Taker, for example. I don't know, something about that just seems kind of like a cheap way to try and draw horror from the audience. Like, oh, it's a kid's show, and there's this guy called the Skin Taker. Kind of dark for a kid's show, but they even mention that in the story. And it's in the style of a chat website, I believe, where people are reminiscing about the show. And the final twist about the show being static for 30 minutes, like, it's a big twist. Ooh, oh my god, plot twist. I personally just felt nothing from it, to be honest. It just didn't do anything for me. I'm sure the author Chris Drab is an awesome person in real life. It's just I'm personally not a fan of Candle Cove because I just don't find it scary, and it's just not all that interesting to me. It just didn't do anything for me. I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan. And the next story that comes to mind would be Anasi's Goatman story. I get why it's freaky. There are moments in there that are pretty chilling, but as a whole, the story just doesn't really do a whole lot for me as well, because for one thing, the excessive swearing gets very irritating at times. Like, I myself don't have a problem with swearing. I have a problem when it's excessive swearing. Like, if you're just swearing for the sake of having swearing, and it's just ongoing. Eventually, you just get so sick of it that you want it to just stop. And there's a lot of it in the story. And also, the Goatman itself, he makes the group very paranoid, but at the same time, the Goat Man really doesn't do anything. There's really nothing interesting about the Goat Man as a whole. He just stalks the group and just makes them freaky, makes them freaked out and scared. He doesn't try to harm any of them, kill any of them, which you'd think with a story like that, that would actually happen. Because naturally, when we see a strange creature, we instantly think, oh God, it's violent, it's going to harm, it's going to attack us. But that doesn't happen at all. Now, maybe that's just a play on what the reader would think. Like you think it would happen and you're waiting for it actually to happen, but it doesn't happen at all. But in the end, I just didn't think the story was all that entertaining. There were moments where I actually did find it entertaining, but those are very few and far between. For the most part, the story kind of bored me for the most part, and didn't really interest me. But those are two passes off the top of my head that I can think of that I personally did not like, that a lot of people do like. There might be more out there, but I'm not going to include passes like, say, Jeff the Killer or Clockwork. Those are just obvious choices that anybody would add to the list. But in terms of popular passes that a lot of people do agree that is good, those are two that stick out to me as being not too good. But that's just my opinion. Um, do you write anything yourself also? Yes, Little Pepper, I do actually. I have written a few things myself. I've never actually published them up on the wiki. And when I say I've written stuff on my own, this is stuff that I've written like years back, like many years back. And this is before I had a computer. I would just write it on notebook paper, and I would just hope for the best. Like, hey guys, I'm a writer. I wrote this thing. Yeah, I would do just that. And as the years have gone on, I wanted to rewrite all the stuff that I've written in the past and just upload it to the wiki. As, hey, I wrote this. Take a look at what I've done. I feel like it's something that a lot of narrators should give a try at, where they should try writing their own stuff. Now, it's nothing too magnificent. It's not like Shakespearean or anything. It's just simple short stories that really anybody, I'm sure, could come up with. But as far as that goes, I want to re-upload these what am I saying? I want to upload these stories up on the wiki one day. I hope to. And when I do, hopefully you guys will like it, but maybe somebody out there might narrate them. I don't know if I will, to be honest, but if that does happen, cool. So yeah, I have written my own work before, so yeah, I will one day do that. Do I know about Slime Beast? Yes, I know all about Slime Beast. We have a bit of a history. I don't want to talk too much about the guy. I don't want any drama spewing up. I just want to let sleeping dogs lie and not bring up past stuff that's happened. But we are familiar with each other, and that's basically all I'll leave to it. We have a history. And I know about the allegations with Creepypasta, but I don't want to get into that either. That's another video for another time. Right now, I just don't want to focus on any YouTube drama. I'd rather just keep it real with just the stories and just keep you guys entertained. But I am aware of it, and if you ask me, I'm mixed on the whole thing. I don't know what's real and what's not real, so I'm just waiting for more detail to come out, and maybe people can get to the bottom of this whole story and try to figure out what happened and reach their own conclusions. But as far as I go, it's something that I'm not too sure about. I'm just waiting to see if there's any more evidence I can come out, and I can make my own decision when the time comes. But other than that, I'm not going to say anything further about the allegations, nor anything about the author of Abandoned by Disney. Also, I don't spin like a robot anymore. I don't spin like a robot. Yeah, I know, right? It's amazing what you can do with technology. What is my idea of what the creepypasta community is now? Um, compared to what it used to be, I know that back in the day there was a bunch of fan art and a bunch of cringy stuff about creepypasta OCs and characters, most of them inside the Jeff the Killer universe, as I like to call it. I used to be completely against the whole OC characters meeting up with Jeff the Killer because I honestly thought it was kind of lazy because they're piggybacking off of another established character in an attempt to get their character some kind of popularity. Now, that's not always the case, but I do know that a lot of creators out there in the past have made their own killer characters centered around Jeff the Killer and his universe in an attempt to piggyback off the success of it. You can see this kind of thing with people like, say, Nina the Killer, for example. Now, I do know that a lot of these people who wrote these type of characters were teens at the time, so they were dealing with issues that were similar to Jeff's, and they related to it. But it is pretty obvious that you can also come across those same exact people who wanted to write stories based around Jeff in an attempt to get popular. It's obvious that this kind of thing does happen. And even though it's not always the case, that kind of thing does exist. Now, a lot of those same people who make those kind of OC characters are also a part of the group that have Jeff shipped off with a bunch of random other characters, like, say, Jane, even though that is kind of canon currently, Nina, Clockwork, and all that stuff. A bunch of these characters mesh together in one big shipment, and a lot of the times, a lot of the female characters do go for Jeff. Now, personally, if you want to ship a character with someone, go right ahead. I'm not going to judge you for it. It's not something that I'm necessarily into, but a lot of the times in the early days of creepypasta, this is exactly how it would be, where it would just be a bunch of killer characters all dealing with the same thing, like bullying and abusive parents and whatnot. It became a cliche in and of itself, alongside with things like Lost Episode creepypastas and a bunch of haunted video game creepypastas. Those were coming out a lot, and those declined more and more as the years went on. If you ask me what the creepypasta community is like today, I'm not going to say that it's dead. Some people like to say that creepypasta is entirely dead. That's not true. No, absolutely is. It's not true. When it comes to something that has a large fandom, it's not something that can just easily die off. Like, say, Harry Potter, for example. The Harry Potter fandom is still active and alive today. I'd argue that since the movie series ended, it's not as popular as it once was, especially given the reputation of the Fantastic Beasts films. Its popularity has dwindled, but it's still around and is still always going to be in the public eye and popular for a long time to come. And I feel the same way when it comes to creepypasta. It's not as popular as it once was, but at the same time, the fandom is still there. So it's not necessarily the community as a whole that's died, it's really the popularity of it. Creepypasta will always be around no matter how many years pass. It had a big impact on not just internet culture, but also horror stories in general. Because creepypasta by itself is essentially spooky campfire stories that you can find online. It's like that with scary stories to tell in the dark. Those were stories that became popular as time went on until the book came out. Then they became even more popular. And the book is still out there for people that want to read all these classic horror stories that have come and gone through over the years and the decades and the centuries and whatnot. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be popular. And the same thing applies with creepypasta. Creepypasta will always be around no matter what happens to it. Even if it claims to be dead, it'll never truly die off. It will always be there, and the fandom will always be there to help support it. And with every new fan that comes, another one will follow in its path. It's like a generational thing. In the early days of creepypasta, that generation came, and the next generation came, and the next generation came. It's just an ongoing generation. I say generation, but it's not really that old, but you get what I'm saying. Every time somebody grows out of something, especially with creepypasta, another one will always be there to replace them, to fill that void. So my stance on the community now, it's not as popular as it once was, but it's always going to be around no matter how long it sticks. In other words, it's here to stay, and I'm personally happy that it did. Creepypasta drama, is that even a thing? Yes, Little Pepper, yes it is. Okay, let me just say this right now. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about drama, but I feel like I need to say this. When it comes to drama, it can happen anywhere, in any community, no matter what it is, whether it be the anime fans or furries or even gaming, reaction channels, makeup channels, horror channels in general, creepypasta channels. It can happen anywhere, no matter who they are. Every community has bad apples, no matter what it is, and drama can come up from basically anyone, no matter how popular you are or if you're even liked or disliked in any kind of community. So yes, drama in the creepypasta community does occur, whether it be through authors or through narrators. This stuff does happen. And like a lot of things, when it comes to internet drama, it's something that you can't avoid. I've had my fair share of internet drama before in the past with other creators, and it's never been something that's a career ending. I'm saying career with quotes, obviously, because I'm not really a popular guy when it comes to this kind of thing. But drama is something that everybody encounters. No community is squeaky clean. It happens to basically anyone and anything in any part of the fandom. So yes, drama in creepypasta does in fact happen. Sometimes you just gotta either let it blow over or try to deal with it the best way you can. Now, me personally, I don't try to ignore drama that involves me unless it's just something very minor. If it's a major thing, I will say something. But if it's very minor, like a small spat on Twitter, that's nothing to get all worked up about. That's something you usually can't ignore or blow over. I only don't let it blow over if it's something very important. So basically, yes, that's my take on it. Who's my favorite narrator? This is gonna be a little awkward because despite the drama that I know about, like I said, I'm neutral on the whole thing. Not gonna say if it's true or not because I don't know if it is. Creepsic Pasta is still my favorite to this day. He was the inspiration that I had when I first did this. He was my inspiration to start narrating in the first place because he's who I discovered first. He was the one that I discovered many years back when I was still in high school. I was still a teen at the time. And the first creepypasta I ever heard narrated by him, I believe, was Barbie Doll. A good story in its own right, which I did later on myself many years ago. And ever since that day, I would binge watch his videos, and then I discovered Mr. Creepypasta, Mr. Nightmare, and a bunch more later on. Oh, and that creepy reading too, back when he did creepypastas. I don't think he still does to this day, to be honest, but I remember listening to his stuff too back in the day. He's really cool. I'm surprisingly older than him too. I thought he was actually older than me, but it's the other way around. I'm just saying that because we did collab years back on his channel, but that was a long time ago. So, yeah, I hope he's doing all right, though. I hope he's doing all right. Anyways, I did narrations myself years back when I was like 19. I gave it a shot myself, and for the past 6 years, it's what I've been doing on this channel. Now, of course, I'm not a big channel. I'm not someone that gets thousands of views per video. Nowadays, I get like barely even 100, and on a 2,000 sub channel, that's pretty bad. Now, I said before, it's not their fault. It's not your guys' fault. It's mainly mine, because I also kept you guys waiting for so long on a lot of videos, because I took so many hiatuses the last couple of years due to personal reasons, and I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake on my end. I should have just not taken as many hiatuses as I did. If anything, one would have been good, but I just kept taking multiple, and that was a mistake on my part. I do apologize for all that, but I didn't let that stop me from continuing despite the hiatuses. Despite how many times I took a break, I always came back, and I'm still back now. I know my views aren't as good as they used to be, but I still intend to keep uploading narrations for a long time to come, because it's what I've enjoyed doing, and there's a lot of stories that I want to get to, that I want to do, whether it be done by somebody else already, or something completely original that nobody else has done. They're out there, they exist, and I want to do that because I want to entertain you guys. And I'm grateful for all the support that I've been given throughout the years. And I want to thank you guys personally for all the help and support you guys have given me throughout the years I've been doing this. So, thank you. All right, well, phone guy, thank you for stopping by, and I'm glad that you stuck around. Have a nice night. And while you guys are at it, make sure to click the dollar sign below in the super chat and send me some donations. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I throw that in there whenever I do a stream, just as a joke. When it comes to me and donating, I'm not against the idea of people donating money to this channel to help out. Excuse me, through Patreon or whatnot. Yeah, my Patreon's still a thing. I gotta promote that one better, to be honest. I'm not against the idea of donation. I'm really not. But there is one thing that I will not stand for. It's people that beg for donations. I mean, yeah, I've joked about it before in the past and even now, just now on this stream. But that's just it. It's just a joke. I give people the option to donate if they want to. When it comes to donations as a whole, I'm okay with it as long as it's not being forced on you. So the option is there, of course. If you want to donate, go right ahead. But I'm not going to beg and plead for you to donate to this channel for support. I wouldn't do that. So I'll leave that up to you. Hey, you guys are listing your favorite narrators: Mr. Nightmare, Dark Simonium. Am I even saying his name right? I don't know. I know who he is, but I can never pronounce his name right. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Wow, imagine that. A narrator who can't actually say certain words. Wow. What am I doing? Maybe I'm in the wrong line of work. Pen Pal is still my favorite from Mr. Creepypasta. From Creepypasta. Oh yeah, I love Pen Pal. That's another good one. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I thought that one was really good, albeit a little too long in my taste. Oh, that's how you pronounce it. My bad. um, I guess you guys have any more questions you want to ask me at all? Oh, and I should mention as well, I don't tend to keep my streams public for that long. I don't know if I'll keep this one up or not. I might delete it in a couple of days. I don't know. I just don't want, if I'm going to keep doing streams, I don't want my I don't want my channel to be cluttered with me doing live streams. In fact, one of these days, I will actually do a stream on Twitch. Now, I chose to do YouTube because my audience is bigger on there, as big as it can possibly be, to be honest. I don't have a big following on Twitch yet, so I don't know if I'll be ready to do Twitch until I feel like I've amassed somewhat of a decent following on there, because I want people to know ahead of time whenever I'm going on Twitch. Now, could I just go on Twitch regardless and just upload the stream on here? Well, yeah, I could do that, absolutely. Matter of fact, that's what I'm thinking of next time I actually go live, or I'll just go live on Twitch and then upload the channel. What am I saying? Sorry, the stream onto this channel. So yeah, that's an idea that I can kick around and just potentially do in the future. Matter of fact, is there anything that you guys want me to also read in the meantime? Like maybe I got time for maybe one more story. You guys want to see that? Read my favorite short creepypasta. What is my favorite short creepypasta? Huh. Hard to say. I don't really know, to be honest. Think I might have done it before in the past. Let me see. What's one of my favorites? See, that's the funny part. There's so many of them out there that I don't even know. I don't know. There's a lot out there. Because a lot of the stories that I've done on here, they're actually some of my favorite ones I've already done in videos. I don't think you guys would want to rehear them again, like in a live stream. Well, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Does anybody have any suggestions? Let's see here. Can't say I can find any, to be honest. You guys have any suggestions for stories that you want me to read at all? I was thinking white with red originally, but I already did that one like a long time ago. What's this? Good morning, afternoon, or good morning, afternoon, evening. Let's keep reading this the very first time. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you for watching and enjoying the channel. I appreciate that. The Scooby-Doo old VHS. Okay, yeah, I can look that one up and see if it's there. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. The old Scooby-Doo VHS tape. Let's see. Not really finding the story. Hang on. I'm not really seeing it on here. Couldn't have been deleted, could it have been? Wait a second, I have an idea. How about the... You know, I don't really do a lot of cartoon-themed episodes. How about suicidemouse.avi? I haven't done that one. That could be a good one. I'm sorry, I can't find the Scooby-Doo one, but I think I'll do Suicide Mouse, if that's alright. SuicideMouse.avi is a Lost episode creepypasta and is widely seen as a forefather of the entire Lost episode genre. This story is based off an old unseen Mickey Mouse episode. There's also a video that is based off of that creepypasta. We're not going to play we're not going to play the video, obviously, but I will read the pasta. Okay. So, do any of you remember those old Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 1930s? The ones that were just put out on DVD a few years ago. Well, I hear that there's one that was unreleased to even the most avid classic Disney fans. According to the sources, it's nothing special. It just continues on a continuous loop, like the Flintstones, of Mickey walking past 6 buildings that goes on for like 2 or 3 minutes before fading out. Unlike the cutesy tunes put in through, the song on this cartoon was not a song at all. Just a constant banging on a piano for 1.5 minutes before going to white noise for the remainder of the film. It wasn't the jolly old Mickey we've come to love either. Mickey wasn't dancing, not even smiling, just kind of walking as if you and I were walking, with a normal facial expression. But for some reason his head tilted side to side as he kept this dismal look. Up until a year or two ago, everyone believed that after it cut to black, that was it. Well, Leonard Maltin was reviewing the cartoon to be put into the complete series. He decided it was too junk to be on the DVD, but wanted to have a digital copy due to the fact that it was a creation of Walt. When he had a digitized version up on his computer, to look at the file, he noticed something. The cartoon was actually 9 minutes and 4 seconds long. This is what my source emailed to me, in full. He is a personal assistant of one of the higher executives at Disney, and an acquaintance of Mr. Maltin himself. After it cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going back to Mickey walking. The sound was different this time. It was a murmur. It wasn't a language, but more like a gurgled cry. As the noise got more indistinguishable and loud over the next minute, the picture began to get weird. The sidewalk started to go in directions that seemed impossible based on the physics of Mickey's walking. And the dismal face of the mouse was slowly curling into a smirk. On the 7th minute, the murmur turned into a blood-curdling scream, the kind of scream painful to hear, and the picture was getting more obscure. Colors were happening that shouldn't have been possible at the time. Mickey's face began to fall apart. His eyes rolled on the bottom of his chin like 2 marbles in a fishbowl, and his curled smile was pointing upward to the left side of his face. The buildings became rubble, floating in midair on the sidewalk was still impossibly... Let me try again. The buildings became rubble, floating in midair, and the sidewalk was still impossibly navigating in warped directions. A few seeming inconceivable with what we, as humans, know about direction. Mr. Maltin got disturbed and left the room, sending an employee to finish the video and take notes of everything happening up until the last second, and afterward immediately store the disc of the cartoon into the vault. This distorted screaming lasted up until 8 minutes and a few seconds in, and then it abruptly cuts to Mickey Mouse's face at the credits at the end of the... And a few seconds in, and then it abruptly cuts to Mickey Mouse's face at the credits at the end of every video, with what sounded like a broken music box playing in the background. This happened for about 30 seconds, and whatever was in that remaining 30 seconds, I haven't been able to get a sliver of information about. From a security guard working under me, who was making rounds outside of that room, I was told that after the last frame, the employee stumbled out of the room with pale skin, saying, "Real suffering is not known," 7 times before speedily taking the guard's pistol and offing himself on the spot. The thing that I couldn't get out of Leonard Maltin, the thing that I couldn't get out of Leonard Maltin was that the last frame was a piece of Russian text that roughly said, "The sights of hell bring its viewers back in." As far as I know, no one else has seen it. But there have been dozens of attempts at getting the file on rapid share by employees inside the studios, all of whom had been promptly terminated from their jobs. Whether it got online or not is now up for debate. But if rumors serve me right, it's online somewhere under suicidemouse.avi. If you ever find a copy of the film, I want you to never view it, and to contact me by phone immediately, regardless of the time. When a Disney death is covered up as well as this, it means that it has to be something huge. Get back to me. TR. I've yet to find a copy of this, but it's out there. I know it. Well, for stars, thank you for subscribing to me, Melissa. I appreciate that. Hello, phone guy. Good to have you back. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Besides me fumbling and messing up a lot when I was reading, my apologies. Have I read any creepypastas that are based on true stories? No, I have not. I have not done that, as far as I know. I don't know if any of the stories that I have read, well, I know most of them are not real, but I don't know if there's often a chance that any of these could be real. But, it's best to be optimistic and think that maybe at least one of them could have happened. But as far as that goes, no. I've never read a story, as far as I know, that has been true. So, yeah. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Mind degenerate. That's This Man. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that's actually a really good one. So I'll read this last story, and then we'll see where we go from here. But first, a drink. Okay. Anyways, back to this. In January 2006 in New York, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist draws a face of a man that has been repeatedly appearing in her dreams. On more than one occasion, that man has given her advice on her private life. The woman swears she had never met the man in her life. The portrait lies forgotten on the psychiatrist's desks for a few days until one day another patient recognizes the face and says that the man has often visited him in his dreams. He also claims he had never seen that man in his waking life. The psychiatrist decides to send the portrait to some of his colleagues that have patients with recurring dreams. Within a few months, 4 patients recognize the man as a frequent presence in their own dreams. All the patients refer to him as this man. From January 2006 until today, at least 2,000 people have claimed that they have seen this man in their dreams in many cities all over the world. Los Angeles, Berlin, Sao Paulo, Tehran, sorry if I mispronounce these, Beijing, Rome, Barcelona, Stockholm, Paris, New Delhi, Moscow, etc. At the moment, there is no ascertained relation or common trait among the people that have dreamed of seeing this man. Moreover, no living man has ever been recognized as resembling the man of the portrait by the people who have seen this man in their dreams. Okay. That's the story. That's a really good one. I like that one a lot. I've always been a fan of that one. And yes, there is a website apparently linked in the pasta story itself. I'm not going to click on it right now. Maybe another day. But yeah, that's the story. Um, you guys got a few more questions for me? I'll answer a few more questions, and then after that, I think I'll cut the stream off. So ask away. Oh, I guess while you guys are probably typing, I will say this: my Halloween special is coming. There are two videos that I have planned. One of which is Halloween themed, but it'll sound just like my current video, where it's not the best sound quality. It's not as clean as it used to be. And what I mean by that, it's not bad audio. It's just it's in a different location, so you'll hear my recording of a different location essentially. And my Halloween video will be and I will be doing the final installment of No End House, Return to No End. Some of you might be familiar with that one. That was on Mr. Creepypasta's channel, and that's going to be my Halloween special. And of course, I'm bringing back the whole cast from the series, and hopefully we can all make something good out of it. Let's see, what's this? I showed this to my dad, and before the video played. Oh, and that is pretty spooky. That's some freaky deaky stuff right there. You see, that's one pasta that I can personally believe that is true and that did happen. I can believe that, yeah. So, does anybody have any more questions for me? What is the worst way for creepypasta to fail at being creepy? I guess if I had to guess, well, I gotta choose my words more carefully. If I had to say, probably excessive gore. That and excessive swearing. Anything that's too excessive. Like, if your pasta relies strictly on gore, then it's not scary. It fails pretty much instantly for that reason only. I don't like too much gore being in a horror story, or having the story be nothing but gore. Gore is the one thing you should never do when writing a story. Gore does not equal scary. It really doesn't. If anything, it just feels kind of lazy in an attempt to disgust the reader out. Now, if it's in a horror film, yeah, it can be a little obnoxious, but hey, some people like watching gore, or to quote Cody Leach for a second, carnage candy. When you're seeing it on screen, it looks kind of fun, kind of badass. But when it's in a story, it gives you a different kind of feeling. When you're reading about it, it feels gross because you're reading the process of what's going on instead of visualizing it. And I'm fairly certain that when you read something about that, it's pretty creepy. Not creepy, I'm sorry. What am I saying? No, it's disgusting, essentially. I hear my roommate coming back upstairs, I think. Hold on. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. My roommate just got back. He wants to say hey real fast.
Hey, what's up?
That's my roommate, guys. He just walked in the door. Apparently he didn't know I was streaming prior to him coming back. This is Matt. He's a cool dude.
I didn't check my phone.
You didn't check your phone, really?
No, didn't check my phone.
Oh my god. So there's a special guest on the stream. There you go. He's my roommate, just casually walking in. That's
What do you mean, special guest? I live with you.
Shh. They don't need to know that. Just kidding. They know that by now. They say, "What's up, roommate?" Lols. What's this question? Have I ever read any SCP stories on my channel? No, I've never done that. It's interesting. I wouldn't mind doing that, to be honest, but it's not in my schedule currently. Maybe one day, but not today. Okay, looks like that should be just about everything. All right, looks like no one has any more questions for me. Looks like that's that. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. I think I'm going to cut it off here now. So if you enjoyed the stream, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below what you thought about it, and I'll probably try to stream again at some point in the future. I don't know when I'll be streaming next, but when I do, yeah, I'll make sure to let you guys know ahead of time. So hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. With that being said, I'm Lance, and